biggest question, would Klay Thompson play? The last time the Warriors were in a playoff game without Thompson in the starting lineup, that was their starting five. It was 2007. Thompson was balling for Santa Margarita High in Southern California. He would not be balling Wednesday. Looked good walking in, but the risk too great. Thompson ruled out with a bad hamstring. His playoff streak of 120 games comes to an end. Game goes on. Kawhi Leonard, Norman Powell. What do we got? That. Kevin Durant pumping up Steph Curry. Metallica sang the national anthem, and Curry was like, welcome home. Scoring points, nothing else matters. Seek and destroy. Curry was on fire. Wherever he may roam, he was making points. 17 in the first quarter, 25 in the first half, his career high for either half of an NBA Finals game. But who would step up and help him? Warriors not named Curry, 1 for 11 from three, scored just 2 more points than Curry in the first half, not getting it done. And you're also missing Klay Thompson on the defensive end. The Raptors, knowing that as well, Klay Thompson looked bummed. They forced Draymond Green into some uncomfortable situations on defense. Kawhi Leonard around Green, around Jordan Bell. Raptors up by 10. They went on an early 8-0 run in the first quarter, got up double figures, and Golden State just couldn't get over the hump. Pascal Siakam by Green there. Leonard drives, kicks it off to Kyle Lowry. Lowry said he was going to be more aggressive. Oh, he was more aggressive. Yeah, he had 15 in the first half, 11 in the second quarter, 60-52, Toronto at the break. Warriors looking for their signature third quarter run. You see the numbers there, historically huge under Steve Kerr. Cousins to Curry, 7-point game, but that's the closest they would get to the Raptors in the third. They kept getting big buckets. Siakam to Leonard, who nails the three. And then Curry, Iguodala, back to Curry. How tough is this shot? Moving to your left like that? Well, listen, if you're Steph Curry, one of the greatest shooters or perhaps the greatest shooter in NBA history, it's not that tough. On the other end, Fred VanVleet gets the screen from Gasol. The lead's back up to double digits and get down to 7-8, back up to, and Danny Green. Green was good. He was 6 of 10, all from three, had 18 points, a streaky shooter, and he was hot. Again, Leonard with the save, Green with the bucket right there. Raptors 7 threes in the third. Curry on the inability to get some momentum.
Like you said, every time we made a run or got the crowd into it, they either made a tough three or there was a tough, foul call and they slowed the tempo down or something went their way. So it's just how it goes sometimes. You have to tip their cap to, all the guys that made, pivotal plays in the right times.
It was 96-83 going into the fourth, and the Warriors scored 6 straight, but they couldn't get over the hump. Green turns it over. Raptors the other way, it's Siakam. Can't touch that. Siakam had 18 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Lowry, step back, Bobby Jack. Cousins had a forgettable game at best. Leaves early, had ice wrapped around that left foot. Raptors in trouble, and this is when you know it's not your night. VanVleet, shot clock winding down, throws up a rainbow. Gets it to go. Boy, that look says it all. The Raptors win Game 3, 123-109. Nick Nurse quoted his dad in the post-game presser. Said, stats don't matter, just the final score. Curry goes for 47, but it's the Raptors who let it rip.
Every one of these games is critical. And I keep saying we've had a lot of this throughout the playoffs with other teams, guys out. We've had some guys out, et cetera. And 5 guys are going to be out there, right? And you can't really worry about that. Each game's critical, and the next one will be as critical as tonight's was.
When you lose an all-NBA type basketball player in Klay and an all-star, it definitely, it changes their team. But, we just went out there and did our job, and, I think we held them under 40% shooting. We played well. We finished the game, and we found a way to win a basketball game.
It was a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure, too. If, one of the main guys not playing, they can still come out and get a win. Steph played great tonight. But, it's big. I'm happy we got it. 2 wins away now, and let's see what this momentum carries us to.
Raptors starting five combined for 106 points in Game 3, most in a playoff game in franchise history. All five of Toronto's starters scored more than 15 points. First team to do that in the finals since the 2013 Spurs, which also had Danny Green and Kawhi Leonard. Steph Curry did his part, 47 points, second most in a loss in NBA Finals history. But the other 11 Warriors scored 62 points combined on just 37% shooting. And it's no surprise that the Warriors aren't quite the same team when missing multiple All-Stars. 16-14 now under Steve Kerr with 2 or fewer of their big four in the lineup. Much better when they have 3 or more of them. In Game 3, they did all they could with what they had.
They outplayed us. They deserved it. And but I'm very proud of our effort. And now we just got to bounce back and hopefully get back here Friday night. Hopefully get a little healthier and get some guys back. But we'll see how that goes. But main thing is just got to play better.
You got to try to have next man up mentality, like we always say, and just go out and fight. We did that tonight. We can play better, obviously, better on the defensive end. But I like the competitiveness that we had. Understanding, like we're missing 50 points pretty much between KD and Klay.
We went out there and played hard and we lost. We didn't go in this game thinking we're not going to play Klay or Kevin or Loon or anybody else, and we're just going to get this game away. Shit, they play well. No one cared that guys are hurt. Everybody want to see us lose. So I'm sure people are happy they're hurt. We just got to continue to battle and win the next game, go back to Toronto, win Game 5, come back to Oracle, win Game 6, and then celebrate. Fun times ahead.
Well, he's got the plan. I'm not sure.
Execute it.
I'm not sure if Nick Nurse uses stuff like this on his whiteboard, but the Warriors entered Game 3 as a big favorite, and even after they lost Game 3, the odds to win the series are now dead even, according to the Caesars Sportsbook, and the Warriors also opened as a 5.5-point favorite for Game 4. Let's bring in Michael Wilbon now. Mike, the Warriors got hit with something they've utilized against other teams very well in the past, and that's the three-pointer. And Danny Green was a big part of Toronto's attack from beyond the arc. What are your thoughts on his performance?
Well, starting with Danny Green is probably the right place. And, yes, Kyle Lowry, Steve Kerr talked about immediately, is just sort of getting the action started for Toronto and putting them in a great place. And that's true. But they needed somebody to do exactly what Danny Green did. And Danny Green's a guy they needed, Stan, because he's played in so many finals games for San Antonio. He's been there, done this, literally. But when you get Kyle Lowry and you get Danny Green playing that way, I mean, the Raptors had to feel good about themselves. And now, listen, nothing's been decided. They have an advantage in this series, but with the guys Golden State's got coming back, that advantage might not last through Friday night.
One of those guys is Klay Thompson, and you have to think if he played in this game, not only does he help offensively, but they probably don't shoot 52% or hit those 17 threes if he's guarding the perimeter. Golden State obviously playing the long game here now in terms of Thompson's health. What did you think about the decision to sit him for this game?
Well, I mean, that's still, the thing that a lot of us are talking about here post-game. And Steve Kerr said he would never have forgiven himself if Klay Thompson goes out and tweaks that hamstring any time during the game and is out for the rest of this series. And he was emphatic, Steve Kerr was, about that, Stan. And he says you make a decision, a wise decision, a sound decision, and you live with it. So they live with that and losing the game and this series going to Toronto's way 2-1. But now they come back Friday. He gets a couple more days to rest and rehab. Kevin Durant, we don't know whether he's waiting in the wings, and they get both of them back. So there's a lot. I mean, there is so much intrigue in this series now, Stan. And it starts with whether or not the Warriors are going to get – look, we're not talking about just two guys back, right? Yeah. We're talking about a recent former MVP and Klay Thompson.
Yeah, it appears that, no disrespect to the Raptors, but if Golden State is at full strength, they would be favored in every remaining game in this series, you would think. So it seems like it's all going to come down to health the rest of the way.
Yeah, I think we're looking at health. And obviously, I think we're looking at a 6 or 7 game series. Friday's enormous. It could be the last game in Oracle. I mean, if the Warriors were to lose it and not survive Toronto. But getting both of those guys back, you would think that the Warriors on Friday, facing elimination of this building, would be up for a pretty huge performance themselves and getting this thing back to Toronto even at 2-2.
Oh, yeah. And we'll be watching Friday night. Mike, always great having you on the program.
Thanks, Dan.
Lots more post-game coverage coming up. Stephen A. Smith here with his breakdown, including DeMarcus Cousins breaking down. Tim Legler on Kyle Lowry and how he rallied the Raptors. Rachel Nichols on how the team effort helped Kawhi Leonard stay fresh. And Nick Friedel